have an important public safety announcement today for residents that live in Penfield and Webster who technically live within a 10-mile radius around the Ginna Nuclear Power Plant. I often talk about public safety being one of government's most important responsibilities. We do everything we can to protect our children, keep our communities safe, but in each of those cases, we rely on partnerships and collaborations to get the job done to ensure the safety and security of our residents. For the residents of Webster and Penfield who live within that 10-mile emergency planning zone surrounding the Ginna Nuclear Power Plant, there are some minor risks, but there are risks in living that close to a nuclear power plant. And those are risks that other residents throughout Monroe County don't necessarily face. So we want to make sure that those residents that live close to the plant are armed and ready if there is an emergency at that plant. We haven't seen it happen in a long time here in Monroe County, but it could happen. And so we want to make sure that residents are able to take every precautionary effort available to them. So today, the county stands shoulder to shoulder with local law enforcement, other government partners, our team at Ginna, and with the folks from Wegmans. And we are hoping to minimize the risks and give residents the resources that they need to be confident and healthy, even in the event of an emergency at the Ginna Nuclear Power Plant. One of the resources available to the residents within that 10-mile zone is Potassium Iodide, or KI. It's an over-the-counter medicine, and it protects the thyroid gland from absorbing radioactive iodine that could be released if there was a serious incident at the Ginna Nuclear Power Plant. We've never had an emergency of that nature in Monroe County. It's extremely rare, but if it did happen, we want to make sure residents are prepared. So we do periodic distributions of KI, and that's what we're doing here today. It's free of charge to residents, but it kind of gives them an opportunity to feel safe and prepared in the event of an emergency. The last time we did this was in 2007 in partnership again with Wegmans. That supply is scheduled to expire in the next few months, and so we want to make sure that we get a new batch of KI into the hands of residents in that zone. So thanks to Wegmans, we are here today to start our distribution of a new supply of KI to Monroe County residents. They will be able to pick up KI for their families starting today, and our effort will run through the end of June 30th. At this Wegmans location on Empire Boulevard, along with the Holt Road store and the Penfield store. And you're going to hear from a Wegmans representative in just a minute about how you can find out more about the times and what you have to do. Even when it comes to public safety, we say this all the time, government can't do it alone. In order to provide the best possible service to our residents, we need to partner with private entities like Wegmans to make sure that we can reach all of the residents that we need to reach. So I am extremely grateful to Wegmans that they are willing again to join with us to carry out this proactive measure and ensure that our residents have access to a new supply of KI. And we appreciate working side by side with this amazing company in our community on this initiative. So now I'd like to invite Jennifer Lang up to the podium. Jennifer is the supervising pharmacist at this Wegmans location.
Hi everybody, we just are really happy to be able to partner with Monroe County in the distribution of the potassium iodide tablets. They are available, as mentioned, over the counter, no prescription necessary, and are going to be distributed near our pharmacies at the Eastway, Penfield, and Holt Road locations. The potassium iodide tablets, what they do is if you take it in the event of an emergency, your thyroid will absorb that iodine, so that way if you're ever exposed to nuclear iodide, it can't be absorbed by the thyroid gland. It'll just protect the thyroid from any of that radioactive material. Side effects are pretty minimal, sometimes stomach upset, rashes. The only people that really are instructed not to take it are those who have an allergy to iodine or some people with existing thyroid or heart issues. It's always a good idea to check with your doctor before the state of emergency occurs, just to make sure that if it ever did, you're in the clear to go ahead and take the KI tablets. With medications, it's always important to pay attention to the expiration dates. Medications can become a little less potent if they go beyond their expiration date or if they're not stored in the proper environment. We always recommend that they're stored in a cool, dry environment away from heat and moisture, sunlight. So making sure that you have a more potent supply or an active supply inside the expiration date is always going to be best for your health.
Anytime that we activate our Emergency Operations Center on Scottsville Road, we did it during a snowstorm. We do it if there is an emergency at Ginna. What would happen is we direct residents to listen to our media partners, the outlets that help us broadcast information, and we will actually direct residents if they need to take KI. And we monitor conditions at the Ginna plant depending on what happens, depending on how quickly an emergency accelerates. We would recommend that residents take the KI. Up until that point, we just want them to have it in their house. We want them to know that it is ready and it's there if they need it. But they wait for the instruction from our county EOC before they actually would take it.